ka go di kgona kana gore go se kwaba le dinyana
mogwara ke kole matlhatse le pex ba bolela ene o ka re ne ba bolela ka betting ya gore yo tšea matlhatse nako e ka kang gore a robale le wena
ke dirileng now?
Why did you buy your gun?
For self-protection.
But there were other times you needed self-protection. What about the times with Mr. Masela?
Sex didn't do half the things Dragon
What about Mr. Agosti?
Dariga was not as bad as Dragon.
So you bought the gun specifically for Mr. Lebelo. At that moment there, you could see that Mr. Lebelo was beginning to listen and he was no longer a threat. You wanted to send a message to the underground world to let them know that there's a new kingpin in town and his name is Leeto Maputa.
Kgopela gore se ka botlhatsa mo motlheta ntse ke a kgopela nagana fela mantuli a šetse a go gobiša palone ka maina a rena
kore ke yona taba e leng gore le na le bothata le yona
ke senyegile ka re nna le babedi
jwang ka gore nna ena leina la ka setšane go gobišitšwe mamarageng
nna ka kgopela gore o nagane ka taba
a ke kweše gore le nyaka gore ke direng ke swantse ke age lenyalo la ka ka maaka nna ke kweše mantole le ntše bjale ka mosadi wa mophutama le ena o rata lapa la gagwe
fela ka go sireletša go ka mosa ka lapa la
ke kgopela le nthuša e re letšatši la e gone ge le sobela e ba le setša le mmoditše sa mogohle e se mo seriti seo sa lena se tloga ke dirileng ena le go botja ka kgang a mokona bang mosebjadi tshwanatan le nthono tlhogo
lo batla go nena go ikakang mo
what
Uring? What's up when you're about to switch this silo? Matumo will miss again. What do you reckon about?
nna ke tsebele bolela
I'm like, oh, we don't really want to go to we don't change so much. You can admit to me serious to school based team. I'm going to let you go in.
Leeto Maputa took to the stand yesterday and the prosecutor didn't make it easy for him. Kamatla, Meiki and John Maputa showed up to support their son. Business tycoon Lehasa Maposa came all the way from Johannesburg to support his friend. Not those who disappear when days are dark. Closing statements will be made today. The big question is, what's going to happen to Club Bazaruto if Leeto goes to jail?
bolela ga samagana
you know I'm busy with exams, honey.
Hey, Melo.
Zamoya angitshela wenzele nesins leya contract noma kuphela.
My fella le a tseba gore nna ke freelancer ke. It's just that I want to go to the schedule le mina. E fela ke ya interview ye le gore ke a moshumo mo permanent.
Sebenza njani le freelancing?
No, freelancing ye mora gore nka ka ikgokaganya le company tse ya gore gore ke independent contractor. Ele bile ke gona le gore nka boloka nako ya ka.
Wa shoma kapa o shomela?
O le di le na le bushishi gape dilo di fetogile le fase le tšhentšhitše gona bjalo.
Ngwana mogolo o a kgwedi ka kgwedi.
Not necessarily. Yabona only freelancer le mogolo wa ona ga o tshwane le. Tšatši le lengwe o ka no ba ko dimonyana tšatši le lengwe ba ko fase depending gore wena mogoding e o berekile ga kae le ona o berekile company tše kae. And la bona nna ne lape nna ga ne tšong ka no nyaka mošomo jalo ka engineer goba kapa ka morutiši goba kapa jale ka author la nkwešiša.
Mina ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi indlu uzoyiqeda kanjani ngoba yona ifurnish izothengwa nini. That's it. Batho ba motšhotšiši o di ile leeto e kare ke motho e leng gore o hwile pelo. A re tshepe gore magistrate o tla bona bokaone a molokolla.
Mo gongwe ga ka swarwa a ya go le go ka thuša.
John.
Mo gongwe ga ka bulega tlhogoe.
O nyaka morwa wa rena ye kgolegong?
Ga ka re tsena mathateng ka baka la leeto. Gante ena tlo ithuta neng?
He monna ga o na nnete wa tsena. Go ra go fa botlhatsi kwa koto gore o thekga morwa wa rena e be le metlae fela. Ke bolelang wena maputlha. John. No.
Hey. Anta go butse mosebetsi.
Yena o butse.
I'm asking you.
Wena a nna bona.
Hey, mutse something ya re butse.
Ke a se go dirile bed le pecs.
Mara gona right go tshetse conversation ya rena.
Shame on you, Mahlatsi. O busy mo bed ha gore bana le mosebetsi.
Mara a ona right go o mutse le conversation tse lore go se swala go dikolo ga batho.
Wena a se ke mo sekolo go nwa mshana wena wa kwa. O ka tla ga ngeme sekolo.
Ga mo tshela mona ke
The learners seem to be going through a cousin armor of some sort, especially because of exams.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough.
Yes.
Mara stress the exam is so slow feet.
It just seems like they're finding it very hard to focus, and some of them just come from noisy homes. Yeah, you know, this is going to be catastrophic for us if we don't step in. True. On the other hand, I would love to do a sanitary pad drive for next year. Definitely.
Sanitary, right?
Yes, sanitary pad drive. In reality, some of these girls cannot even afford to buy their own pads. And so I'm hoping to get a really good sponsor on board. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, thank you.
And guys, please look out for Paxton Home.
Okay.
Newspaper stories divorce and stuff. But on law every day.
Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't like Chichama one no. Get away to my class. Much about 2 million.
Relationship ya dina mona.
Senya.
Yeah.
Hey, nka botuna nika go senya before o dumela to betting ene ya botleng.
Monna ga so go ditaba ka mo
Hey, bona ne. One thing yene ke tshwanang for yona. O mo tshebetso se ya lo rope chance. Are ke pedi tšwa wena. Kana wa tsamaya. O sale mo.
Yes. Isibindi sona naso sokuthi uvezele ubusunyana bakho la. Emva kwalento ihlazo yensuliyelo.
Sengodi yakhuluma noma ungazi simlomo.
Fanele ngabona mashini.
So wena futhi angazi ukuthi wangenzeka nje uhlangana
Whatever you two had going on could have been resolved at home. Hayi lento yenzela.
Kambe no leyo ndla yithi meyodwa. Ukhulumela ngofelo cheater.
Kodwa ngamadolo sisinthandazo umtholiyedo angapheli lechile. Makenjalo uzoyisola.
Lalela ngivele yazi ngokusa. Yabo mina ngifuna kusabject. Ufana nje neje khonkothayo. Kodwa engalunga. Futhi ke nje ulethu ngiyane ephapheni lami ukuthi sakunqedwe skate. Ngalesicela.
The state can proceed with the closing arguments. Madam Prosecutor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is the court that holds the law in high esteem. Therefore, it cannot allow a murderer to go free. This court has to make an example with Mr. Leeto Maputla to show people that the law is still the law. The evidence presented to you prove beyond reasonable doubt that Mr. Leeto Maputla's motive and intention was to kill Mr. Lebelo. If this court does not find Mr. Maputla guilty, then he will be an untouchable don. All the glory will go to his head and he might just kill again. The state witnesses demonstrated how Mr. Leeto Maputla took the matter into his own hands, despite the fact that the police had the situation under control. Mr. Maputla saw the opportunity and killed Mr. Lebelo. There was also a medical report that proved that Mr. Lebelo died of gunshot wounds. That evidence was not challenged by the defense. We have proved beyond reasonable doubt that Mr. Leeto Maputla's intention and motive was to kill Mr. Klaas Lebelo for good. Therefore, we ask this court to find Mr. Leeto Maputla guilty as charged in all charges.
Silent in court.
And then? Well, it's called a job interview, my friend.
Yeah?
I'm going to some job interview. Engineer or my teacher. One man, house and Alcata. I asked a bit of it. And I will have a one over me. Mushuman and no Kuman. What's the scholars like it's happening? I'm going to put you check out this big gap between my engineering jobs. Come on, what? Get in worry from that so you come and mushroom. Eh? Come on, we don't go to village at house. Cindy and all the Bugere Lanchani. Which are now, would you? Eh? And along on a Bugera is a low printer. Yeah. You can fit to the dog and talk about ringing, Kiki, one check out to a little more lady or ringing, Kiki, give she did up pay. Eh? Don't talk, I'm sure.
Yeah. The way line of Tonga on self-employment. It's not a bad idea, but
Nana, eh? Tomahawk were tears. I remember to pass already tender. I fell out to my way or took a chalet, and I won't know what's still when I say, eh? And I will let a chalet fail. I'm not what to get a ticket. Yeah. Then go to Singapore, dollar that was written on woman. Eh? It's a lot of children and out home. I don't know what to Zaka.
The prosecution has failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Leeto Maputla had intention to kill Mr. Matibelo Klaas Lebelo. The video provided by the state didn't establish motive at all. Instead, it showed us a madman, a maniac, a suicide mission. Mr. Leeto Maputla was merely seeking to save the lives of his staff, his patrons, and even himself. We also have to be cognizant of the fact that Mr. Matibelo Klaas Lebelo died days after the incident. That further goes to prove that Mr. Leeto Maputla tried to neutralize the situation. And that is why the gunshots were not immediately fatal. Your Worship, the state has failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Leeto Maputla had the intention to murder. And therefore the defense moves for a verdict of not guilty on the charge of murder. Now with regards to the charge of the unlawful discharge of a firearm, the defense also moves for a verdict of not guilty because it is absolutely clear that there was a grave necessity for the discharge of that firearm in the hostage situation to save lives. The police present were clearly failing to contain the situation, and my client saw an opportunity to not only help the police, but to save lives, where the police were clearly incompetent, incapable, and incapacitated. Your Worship, Leeto Maputla is not a heartless killer. If anything, we should be thanking him for saving many lives that night. The defense rests.
Thank you to the defense and the prosecution. You both have conducted yourselves very professionally. This court will now take a recess for me to consider the testimonies and the evidence. We will resume where we will announce the verdict on Tuesday, the 28th of November 2023. This court is now adjourned.
All rise.
Which part of Hakia don't you understand? I'm not going to style. I'm not going to just like that's it. And killing dating just because what? I hope I will bet me and I will how to do like fantasy. How can you? So much on a primary logic. Then check out equation. And happy winner. You are nothing but a loser. You can follow my
Samatomo ne ke rata go gopela tshwarelo go lena ka moka le bashumi mmogo ba lena. And that whole camera thing was a terrible mistake. Ke boledišane le the journalist gore ka kgona go patela the damages. Secondly, ke kwa ke le maswabi gore ba leba ga lebelo ba latlhagetswe ke breadwinner ka lebaka la ditiro tša jaaka. I know gore Dragon was a dear uncle to Shadi. And I will forever be saddened knowing gore my dear Dragon a mo matsogo waka. I really had no choice. And ke boledišane le Shadi gore ka kwa gae if I tlhoka anything at all, she can always reach out to me and ke bone gore nka ba thuša kae.
So, Mr. Maputla, do you think that the verdict will find you guilty or not guilty?
Honestly, I can only hope for the magistrate will do the right thing.
But we need to think, but something I'm not come back here. Usually, but you have to do it, man. What about this? Is a street cred.
Yeah, so that's street cred. So since it's too much at the moon. If I got to do my own bad, I'm going to go to prove myself.
What's the king? And they didn't do it. We show them cigars. Yeah, give it a red. What's fun?
I can't go to let's get a better one. She t-shirt.
Ke gopela le bolelele Zamkuhle mo nnete pele go senyega.
Ke tla mo le go sesa.
Mo founeleng.
Okay, here we go. Dere ke ka sarapane. Hey, my people.
Tell Mama.
Hey, Monak. You know?
Oh, hey. Oh, hey, man.
This is exactly what I need. Jog. e re go change and then ke tla go joina just now.
Ya lo go le o tsheka o le ya go ntsha stress go sa no kitima ke because hey training ile ya ga go pele FM e mpotsha le role.
No, o tla putsa ka yena go jana e re I'll be back.
It's a boy fedile. I keep putting gore o faile ka gore ke khethile go berekisana le baremo.
Go bile bohloko. E fa le diretse wena le bareno tjentjhe. Ha o hlokege gore ke upe scoop. Fa ke nyaka go bona o ile kgolegong leeto.
Ke a leboga.
Trial morago. This is a big case. But what when you buy village? Could get a legal practice council by to let you marshal?
LPC. Oh, really?
I did the bar exams with one of the attorneys who works there. If you're found guilty, you're getting disbarred. It will be such a shame if you can't practice law. Yet, you are a good attorney.
Hey, Wex, you're very good at Rex, are you? Hey.